Here's some of the features on your new 2020 Subaru Forester. So if you wanted to change your mirrors, so you wanted to change your right one, you'd turn the knob over to right, and then you can move whatever direction you need to move. Lock it back in the center position so you can't accidentally bump the position. Locking and unlocking your doors. You have an auto up and down front driver window. And this down here will let you lock your windows. Moving over here, this dial here will allow you to dim your interior lights whenever your headlights are on. So if you're driving and it's dark out and you think that the display lights are a little bit too bright, you can turn that down using that knob. That's to turn your traction control off and to turn your auto start stop off. Now the auto start stop will default to on every time you start the car, and what that does is it shuts off the engine whenever you come to a complete stop at a stoplight, stop sign, whatever the case is. It doesn't do it every single time. It's based on certain scenarios, but if you don't like that, you can turn it off. Moving further down, we have your hood release, which is the whole way down here. Your trip reset button. You have a trip A and a trip B. If we wanted to reset, just press and hold that trip button and you reset. Headlights. You do have automatic headlights, so whenever they're in that position, you know that they're on auto. Most people just leave it there. Auto will turn your headlights on whenever it gets dark enough outside, or even if you have your windshield wipers on. After a few swipes, your headlights will come on as well. And push forward for high beams. Of course, this is your turn signal as well. The right and left arrow lets you toggle through your radio presets. So if I press the right arrow, see how I'm going through my presets there? And if I press the left arrow, I can go back. So that's those right there. You can change the volume right from your steering wheel, or the source, which would be the source of your radio. So you have FM, AM, Sirius XM, or even if you had a CD that you wanted to play. Info changes the information up here. So I'm just going to press info once, and that information went away up there. So I'm going to keep pressing the info button repeatedly. And that changes this stuff up here. Down here, if you had a cell phone paired, this would allow you to answer a call or hang up a call. And this also gets you to your voice commands. So if I press that, I'm going to cancel it by pressing the hang up button.
Canceling.
So I engaged the voice commands by pressing that, and I canceled them by pressing that. You have these three buttons down here, and I'm going to press one of the arrows and they pull forward. So whenever I do that, that changes the information on the display here. If I press and hold the middle button, the I set button, it gives me a menu. And you can change all of this stuff here. If I'd like to go back, I just press that middle button. And then I'm back to the main screen again. So I'm pulling one of the arrows towards me again. And we'll leave it on that for now. To use your adaptive cruise control, this is the on and off button. So your cruise control is off right now. to turn it on, we're going to press this. And whenever we turn it on, your little car comes up on your display here. So your little car has one white line in front of it. That would indicate that your adaptive cruise control would pace you one car length away from the car in front of you. If you'd like to be a little bit further away, you're going to press this. So that adds another white line. You can add up to 4 white lines, so you'd be paced 4 car lengths away from the car in front of you. And that keeps you at a pretty safe distance. Of course, if you don't feel that you need to be that far away, you can press that one. And that would put you 3, 2, or 1 car lengths away. Once you're set on a speed that you'd like to stay set on, you press this down, and that would set you on your current speed. If you'd like to speed up, you can press this button up, and that would speed you up by 5 miles an hour. Or if you press and hold this button, it would slowly change your speed by 1 mile per hour. So say you had it set on 65 and you want it to be set on 67. You press and hold that. You'd see on the screen up here that it says 66 and 67. And then, of course, you'd stop pressing that button once you hit the desired speed. Moving forward, you have your lane keep assist right here. So whenever you have that turned on, you don't necessarily have to have it on cruise control in order for that to work. I turned cruise control off using this button. Moving back. So lane keep assist will work whenever you're on a relatively straight road going 40 miles per hour or faster. And what this does is it actually steers you back into your lane. So if you start to veer over on one of the lanes, then it would steer you back into your lane to make sure that you stay on your intended path. And that's turned off and on using this little steering wheel button. So now that's off. Turning it back on. Moving down, we have the S and I buttons. So what those are vehicle dynamics modes. And the vehicle will automatically default to I, which is intelligent. You can tell that the vehicle is on intelligent by you have, see the park right there? You have the I next to it, which means intelligent. Intelligent's going to give you the best gas mileage. And if you wanted to change to S, you press that. What S means is sport. So that means you're going to have quicker acceleration. If you don't want that, and you want better gas mileage, which most people do, we're going to switch back to I. Okay, windshield wipers. This is kind of a hard one for me to get a good camera angle of, but we'll take this spoke and knock it down 1 notch. Whenever you do that, you can, let's see if there's an easier way for me to do this. There we go. You can use this, which will allow you to go from a really slow wiper speed to a little bit faster. And then if the rain is worse than that, you can knock it down another notch, or even 1 more. And that's the fastest they'll go. So we'll go back to the off position. If you're driving by and something gets on your windshield and you just want to swipe it once, you can just knock the whole switch up once, and your wipers will just swipe 1 time. The tip of the knob will let you turn on your back windshield wiper. So right now we would be on intermittent or constant. And we'll be back to the off position. Also, if you wanted to spray off the windshield, the rear windshield, you just twist down. Not only will this spray off the back window, but it will also spray off your backup camera too. Into your touch screen. So we'll start from the home position. So if you wanted to just go to your radio and that's really all you wanted to play around with, you have either the radio button that you can touch there, or you have the physical button here. So these are some of the radio presets that I have right now. Let's say we'll change it to this. If you like this station, all you have to do to make a radio preset is select whatever number you'd like. You have 18 presets, remember I said? And we'll put it in one of these empty ones. You don't have to, you can always write over one of these ones. But just for example, I'm going to press and hold. And there we go. It's saved on that now. If you wanted to switch to FM or AM, and you have Sirius XM. With the new vehicle, you have 4 months for free of Sirius XM. For FM, I think the easiest way for me is to change the station using this tune knob here. So you can see on the screen that it's changing the station. And we'll go back to the home screen. So if you wanted to pair up a phone, you can. We don't have anything connected right now. I'm not going to connect anything. Media. So media is going to be where you would find a CD. So if you had a CD inserted, it would show up right up here. That screen also gives you options for your Bluetooth or anything you have plugged in through one of the auxiliary ports, which would be down here, or USB ports. You have some apps that you can play around with if you'd like. Travel Link is part of your 4-month free subscription through SiriusXM. You have all kinds of different settings that you can play with in here. I think it's easiest to go through the settings using this scroll knob here. We can go to sound, phone settings, or vehicle settings. The easiest way to change the time, in my opinion, is you have the plus and minus right up here. So if I wanted to change the minute or the hour, just press that. Okay, we'll go back and I'll just put it back on the radio screen. Your climate control. You have automatic climate control, so it will send the air wherever it feels that it's necessary. If you press this, that turns on your rear defroster. This is your fan speed, or you can set that to auto as well. If you'd like the air in the car recirculated or not, you press that. To change the temperature of the vehicle, and to turn the AC off or on. Moving down, we have your parking brake. So to turn your parking brake on, you pull that towards you, and to turn it off, you have to put your foot on the brake and press. AVH is auto vehicle hold. And what that does is it will hold your vehicle in place anytime you come to a complete stop. So if you are stopped at a stoplight and you wanted to take your foot off of the brake, you can press this. That would turn it on. And I'll show you on the display here that it says it's on. AVH. So whenever that's on, you can take your foot completely off of the brake, and it will hold your car until you press the gas again. And we'll turn that back off. Moving up here, you have your lane departure warning. So if you start to go over one of the lines on the road, the vehicle is going to beep at you. If you don't like the beeping, you can turn that off. You just press and hold that button, and whenever you do, hopefully you heard that little beep, and it shows up right there. The lane departure warning is now off. We're going to turn that back on. Okay. Up here we also have your pre-collision braking to turn that off. I'd recommend keeping that on. But if you did want to turn it off for whatever purpose, like for instance going in a car wash that pulls you along on a track rather than one that moves around you, I'd recommend turning that off, because otherwise if you're on a track and your car is in neutral, it's going to apply the brakes, and that's going to prevent your car from going along in that car wash. If you switch this over to door, that will allow your lights to turn on when you open up the doors. And the same with this one up here. So whenever this switch is balanced in the middle, it says door, then that means you can that light will turn on as well. Sunglasses holder. And then on either side of the mirror, you can see that you have your eyesight cameras. So that's this and this. So those are the things that are going to give you all those nice safety features that your vehicle is equipped with. Those are cameras, and they're constantly looking out for you to prevent you from being in an accident. There are situations in which those cameras are going to turn off, and usually that's going to be if you're driving in dense fog, a heavy snowstorm, or if it's later in the evening and the sun is coming like directly at you. If you're having a hard time seeing, so are those cameras. So if they do shut off, it will say on this display here, it will say the word eyesight, and it will have a line through it. In the event that happens, once you regain visibility, those are going to turn right back on. If you have anything that needs to sit on the windshield, like a easy pass or something, make sure you put it up in one of the top corners, like up there or up there. Otherwise, if you put it lower on your window, say somewhere around this position, the cameras are going to detect that as an obstacle, and it will probably shut off your eyesight system. So I hope this was helpful for you, and please let me know if you have any questions.